The film opens with Princess Irulan Corrino, Florence Pugh, the daughter of Emperor Shaddam IV, Christopher Walken, documenting the recent attack on House Atreides by the Harkonnens. She reflects on how Duke Leto Atreides was considered a son by the Emperor, leaving her puzzled as to why her father would order the destruction of the Atreides lineage, even though she suspects not all of them are truly lost. Irulan also contemplates the implications of House Atreides' downfall for Arrakis. Shortly after joining the Fremen on their journey across the desert to Sietch Tabr, Paul Atreides, Timothy Chalamet, and his pregnant mother, Lady Jessica, Rebecca Ferguson, take refuge with the warriors as Harkonnen scouts pursue them. Stilgar, Javier Bardem, leads his troops skillfully to avoid detection before turning the scouts' weapons against them. Once the scouts are eliminated, the Fremen leave the bodies behind as offerings to Shai-Hulud. Upon reaching Sietch, Paul and Jessica are met with hostility from other Fremen. Some suspect them of being spies, while others resent Paul for killing Jamis, Babs Olusan Mokun. Stilgar addresses the council to persuade them that assistance is necessary and that the Atreides can also aid the Fremen. In a private conversation, Stilgar informs Jessica that their Reverend Mother is on the brink of death and asks her to take her place. She joins other Bene Gesserit and Reverend Mother Ramallo, Juicy Merli, where she is instructed to drink the water of life, a toxic substance lethal to men. After consuming it, Jessica begins to convulse, causing the other Bene Gesserit to panic upon realizing that Jessica is pregnant. As Jessica recovers from the water of life's effects, she is able to access the memories of her ancestors. Her daughter begins to communicate with her, and together they discuss their plan to spread awareness of the prophecy among the people of northern Arrakis, starting with those they perceive as vulnerable. Meanwhile, Paul is developing a romantic connection with Chani, Zendaya. As they spend time together, Chani's friend Shishakli, Suhelia Yaqub, expresses her doubts about the prophecy, to which Paul is initially drawn. Later, the Fremen engage in battle with a Harkonnen scouting tank. Paul helps protect Chani and gives her the opportunity to destroy the Ornithopter. As they collect water from the defeated scouts, Paul declares that he doesn't want to be seen as the Lisan al-Gaib, and instead wants to fight alongside the Fremen as one of them. They accept his wishes and come to respect him even more. As time passes, Paul and Chani's bond grows stronger. They share a romantic moment, kissing as they watch the spice flow across the desert sand. The two continue to train with the Freeman, with Paul becoming a skilled Fedaykin warrior alongside Chani. As he becomes more accepted among the Freemen, Paul adopts the fighting name Muad'Dib Usul, inspired by the legendary desert animals known as the kangaroo mice. He also begins to experience terrifying visions of a catastrophic future, where he leads a holy war and the land is scarred by conflict. To prove himself, Paul undergoes a crucial Fremen test, riding a sandworm. The Fremen gather to watch as he walks down to a lower level and plants the device to summon Shai-Hulud. As the massive creature emerges, Paul seizes the opportunity to jump on, struggling initially, but eventually securing himself to ride the sandworm successfully. The Fremen erupt in cheers, hailing Paul as one of their own, as Jessica sets out on a perilous journey to spread the prophecy to the fundamentalists in southern Arrakis. She longs for Paul to join her. However, Paul remains hesitant, fearing that their actions will only bring false hope to the people and that his visions will become a reality if he joins her. Meanwhile, on Giedi Prime, Baron Vladimir Harkonnen returns to his homeworld to celebrate the occasion of his youngest nephew, Feyd-Rautha's coming of age. Feyd-Rautha is set to participate in a tournament against 3 followers of House Atreides, 2 of whom are secretly drugged, making it an uneven contest. Despite this, the third opponent puts up a fierce fight before Feyd-Rautha ultimately kills him. The Baron is pleased with Feyd-Rautha's performance and decides to name him as his successor on Arrakis, as Rabban has been struggling to maintain spice production and control over the Fremen. Reverend Mother Mohiam and Lady Margot Fenring discuss the possibility that Paul may still be alive, given the rumors of Muad'Dib spreading across Arrakis. Margot uses her Bene Gesserit abilities to seduce Feyd-Rautha and gets him alone. She then reveals that she is carrying Feyd-Rautha's daughter, effectively solidifying her connection to the Harkonnen family. Irulan continues to investigate the attack on House Atreides and speaks with Reverend Mother Mohayam, who is aware of the Emperor's involvement in the attack and its motivations. A group of smugglers arrives on Arrakis, and the Fremen engage them in battle. However, Paul recognizes one of the smugglers as Gurney Halleck, a trusted friend from his past. Paul orders the Fremen to stand down, and Gurney explains how he survived the attack and joined Paul and the others. Feeling that they need a stronger fighting chance against the Harkonnens, Gurney suggests leading Paul, Chani, and Stilgar to the House Atreides stash of atomic warheads. Feyd-Rautha leads a Harkonnen assault on the Sietch Tabor, resulting in the deaths of several Freemen while the others are forced to take cover. Shishakli is captured by the Harkonnens, and when she refuses to divulge any information, Feyd incinerates her. The surviving Freemen begin to make their way south, despite Paul's hesitations. In the meantime, Paul visits the temple that Jessica had previously explored to discover the source of the water of life, which is derived from a baby sandworm. Ignoring Chani's objections, Paul consumes the water and loses consciousness. He then experiences a series of visions similar to those Jessica had, one of which features his sister Aaliyah, Anya Taylor-Joy, speaking to him. As those around him try to assist, Chani learns that he can be revived with Desert Spring tears. She wipes her tears, mixes them with the water of life, and administers it to Paul. He regains consciousness and speaks privately with Jessica, revealing that he has discovered the shocking truth that she is the daughter of the Baron, meaning they are both Harkonnens, a fact even Jessica was unaware of. This revelation also designates Paul as the Kwisatz Haderach, a male with abilities equivalent to those of the Bene Gesserit, who have consumed the water of life. As other Fremen leaders convene at the temple to discuss Paul's rise to power, they express a desire for him to challenge Stilgar, which Paul is prepared to do. However, he defies their expectations by delivering a powerful speech in which he declares himself the Lisan al-Gaib. Chani also points out that the prophecy has effectively kept the Fremen in servitude. In the end, all the Fremen bow to Paul, acknowledging him as their messiah. The Harkonnens return alongside the Emperor, Irulan, and their Sardaukar forces, leading to a final confrontation with the Fremen. The Emperor directly confronts the Harkonnens and has the Baron's suspensor belts cut, causing him to fall and become incapacitated. Paul then orders the launch of warheads to breach Arrakin's defenses. The Fremen warriors begin to ride sandworms, effectively cutting through a portion of the enemy forces. In a last-ditch effort, the Baron crawls toward the Emperor's throne, but Paul approaches him, addressing him as his grandfather, which leaves the Baron in shock. Paul then delivers a fatal blow, stabbing him in the neck. Outside, the remaining Sardaukar start to retreat, but Gurney catches up with Rabban for a rematch. Paul prepares to confront the Emperor in retribution for his father's death, threatening to destroy the spice supply unless the Emperor surrenders and allows him to marry Irulan, a request that visibly upsets Chani. The Emperor then calls upon Feyd-Rautha to serve as his champion. A fierce duel ensues between Paul and Feyd, during which Feyd wounds Paul in the side. However, Paul ultimately prevails, delivering a fatal stab to Feyd's chest. As Feyd falls, he acknowledges Paul's skill in battle. With Feyd defeated, Paul turns his attention to the Emperor, but Irulan intervenes, agreeing to marry him. As the Emperor steps down, he reveals to Paul that he orchestrated Leto's death due to his emotional decisions. Paul accepts Irulan's hand, prompting Chani to leave in tears. Later, Paul learns that not all the great houses have recognized his ascension. He commands the Fremen army to advance and send them to paradise. Gurney, Stilgar, and others rally behind him as they march forward. Jessica shares a final moment with Aaliyah, declaring that the Holy War has now begun. The film concludes with Chani stepping into the sands to summon a sandworm, ready to embark on an unknown journey.